Today we're doing the Stabilo Black fine point pen. Okay, this time we're doing a product review for the uh, Stabilo Black. This is it's a new one. This one has a very nice feel to it. It's got a nice finish, a nice finish on it. Uh, it's sturdy. Feels like feels pretty sturdy. It's got this little. It looks like a button or a knob. I'm not sure if this is because it's black. I'm not sure if this would. So it's got this little knob here. Not sure if that's a button that does anything. Made in Germany. Um, this is the Stabilo Black Fine. So let's take a look. Small cap. It's got so okay. Before you say that this tip sucks. Before you say, because I've reviewed other pens. I've reviewed another pen with the fountain pen type, and that's fancy. This pen sucked compared to this one here. This one looks like every pen that's in the market, that every pen that's ever existed. But wait, we're gonna go. I've had pens like this, and I've had some success, some amazing luck with them. We're gonna give this one a little bit of a run through and see how it goes. That's nice. Look at that. Not a lot of bleeding. Consistent line. Nice dark color. It's pretty good. It says it's fine. This looks like it's a step past fine. Maybe like I think of fine, I think of below 0.5. This one, maybe it's the paper I'm working on. This is just printer paper, right? This is just printer paper. So it might be bleeding a little bit more on this, whereas if I was using like a bristle board, it would be a lot less. There'd be a lot less bleed on it, because there is just a little bit of bleed, but that might be the paper. This is not high quality paper. This was just, I said copier paper. Look, I'm going, we're gonna do a little bit more. That was me. It's not dropping lines. That was me. Nice thick lines coming out, consistent every time. It's the same line that comes out. It doesn't seem very runny. I don't have to use a ton of pressure, which that's important, because if you're drawing if you're doing a long drawing, you don't want to have a pen that you're just banging down on to get a good line out of it. You want you want some nice flow, because it'll wear you out. Especially if you have to. I mean, I've had times I've had to draw 23 hours in a row, and my hand was falling off, and that was with some pens that were easy to use. I can't imagine using one of the tougher pens or something like that. It's good lines, good consistent lines. They're coming out great. I think on some better paper, on some better stock paper, I would get even better lines out of it. It's got a nice feel to it. It's got like I don't know what you call it, a matte finish. It has like a rubbery coating on it. It feels like a solid pen, like a very solid pen. Does some good lines. Try to do this one real fast. Those two look great lines. Great lines coming out of this. Great lines. It's a good color. I mean, it's a nice dark black. you know, because you have some pens and it comes out and it's like a light gray. It says black and you get a light gray out of it. Um, it's, I mean, I was going pretty fast on that other one. It's keeping up pretty good. It's not stuttering. It's not dropping. Not a lot of bleed. And when I say bleed, I mean, you know, when it does that at the end of every line. When you draw a line and then it leaves a big blob at the end of it, or alternately, it leaves something bad at the front of it, which would be either like inconsistent or whatnot. Pretty good line. Pretty good line all the way around though. Doing these letters down here a little bit smaller. We'll see what happens. All in all, so far I'm really liking this. I gotta say, it's it definitely has its uses. I'm just doing, you know, I'm just filling in letters at the moment. But if I was drawing like if I was into a piece, you know, doing a page or doing a commission or something, I could see some uses for something like this. Has it right on top of itself. There's some pens that are great until it comes time for them to write on top of themselves, and then they fall apart, bleed. They don't react well. I've said this before. I've used these fountain pens, and sometimes you get ink that's a little bit thicker, leaves a little bit more texture on the page, and when you're going over them, it's like writing across like you're like writing letters or whatever across a road or something, because it's got so much texture to it. This is pretty nice though. It's pretty nice. Let's do some of these bigger lines. See if there's anything. Stabilo Black, good work. Good work on this pen. This is pretty nice. This will be part of the. All right, but I'll be putting this into the rotation. I'm not done giving it a workout, and I'm already prepared to say that I think this is a recommend. Especially, I would not salt. This is supposed to be a fine. I would not call this a fine. I would call this, you know, if you're using, you know, the generic terms, I'd call this a medium. This is not fine. This is not a fine line that comes out of here. It's got a thickness to it, but it's got a nice thickness to it. It's just thin enough. I'd call it a 0.5 at least. Maybe a little bit higher, 0.5 to upwards of 0.7. I know I'm not getting out a ruler to determine that, but I have a lot of fine line pens, and this is not a fine line pen in my experience. But so there you go. And I think that this is all in all a recommend if you want one more good look at it. Solid construction. I guess this is for grip. No idea what this does. I don't know what that does at all. It's got one of these fronts. So I've had a pen like this before, and it has the inkwell in here. After the pen had run out, you're able to pull these out. You know, if you've got that pen that you just fall in love with, you can pull this out. Sometimes fill it up with some good ink that's not too thick. You don't want a thick ink because it'll just block this up. It'll dry up fast, block it up, and you can throw this away because they're a pain to unblock once you use thicker ink. But you use a rapidograph ink. You use something thin. You use a thinner ink. The type of ink that you would use for something like this, because if you use a thick ink on this, you're done. It'll just block up right up. Use a thinner ink like this, you can sometimes get a little more life out of these things. It doesn't mean this. I think this was made 100% to be disposable. These, I don't think they come with any refill cartridges or anything like that. I saw nothing when I got this. And when you do, when you do try to give this a second life, you grip it here and you go for it, but like this, you know, and then pull it out. And then you can mess around with it, try to put some more ink in it, try to refill it, try to get some more life out of it. But I gotta say, the ink that it comes with, fantastic. I'll be interested to see if this thing does refill with some other ink. All in all, this is a solid pen. This is a solid pen. I'd put this down as a recommend. Now, for the last thing to say about it, you know, we went through the line weight and whatnot. It retailed for $4.10. That's what I paid for this, is $4.10. I'll probably throw a link in the description of where I'm just gonna go around and see where I can find it now. And you know, if you're interested, click on the link, and it'll be an affiliate link, so they send me a nickel or whatever if you go buy one. Yeah, but definitely Stabilo Black. This goes down as a recommend. I will be using this pen. All right, that's it for now.